Can you do it now?
Yes, I'm recording. Cool. Okay. Yay. So we got that figured out. Okay. Easier than we thought. So we wanted to hop on this call. It's still kind of early in the month. But we're to the 10th, so not even 2 weeks in. And utilize this time to work through the activities that you should be doing every single day that will propel your business forward and help you hit those goals, specifically hitting your Success Club goals early in the month. And so then you can pour all of your love into your challengers once the challenge group starts, and really working the Lift 4 launch on Monday. I'm going to let Leanna pick up there.
So basically what we're going to do is do like a live power hour together, because we want to show you guys, like, if you want to actually work a business and like see success with this, you don't necessarily have to have all the time in the world. You just have to have really focused in time, so that when you are like dedicating, if it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes or a whole hour to your business, like the time needs to be spent very wisely. So we were just going to do kind of like an experiment, like 30 minutes together, actually like taking action together and doing the things that we would do in our power hours together. So we're going to kind of walk you through like how we would do our own power hours, and then we'll just all do it together. So we'll give you guys like time to go and try some of these things.
Hopefully none of this is new. But like Leanna said, like, you don't need a ton of time. And I think, that's what holds us back sometimes, is ourselves, to be like, oh, I don't have like 3 hours a day to work a business. And you don't need that. Maybe 60 minutes a day, spread out throughout the entire day to, successfully build a business. But it's doing it every single day. It's not, spending 4 hours on Sunday and then not doing anything until the next Sunday. It's doing those little things every single day is where you'll see the growth in this business, and where you'll see it really, really start to explode. So very first thing we want to do is brain dump. And if you haven't done a brain dump, that's literally just a to-do list, but it doesn't have to be only business related. Like, that's where you just like there's so many things in our mind, like at least in mine, that's like constantly running. And I have like 40 different to-do lists that are always going off in my head. And so when I wake up and I sit down at my desk at 6 a.m, like, I write down everything that's in my head and I get it out of there. So then there's like room for the good ideas to come in, and not like do the dishes or clean the bathroom or whatever those things are. So like really, really important to clear your mind, so then you can like put the good stuff back into it.
So we take like maybe 2 minutes to do a brain dump?
Yeah.
Woo-woo. Okay, here we go.
Jot down literally anything that's in your head that's like a to-do type thing, whether it's business related or not.
Okay. So I think that was 2 minutes, hopefully.
Yep.
I can timer next to it. But I really like doing that like right off in the morning. Sometimes even before like I read my PD, that's the literal first thing I'll do, because otherwise if I don't, I'll be distracted while I'm reading personal development, or I will just open up my phone or my email and I'll literally just like be picking up fires, and then an hour flies by or 30 minutes fly by and I'm like, did I actually even get anything done, or did I just like answer messages as they were coming in? So that's just huge. And then next in our power hour, I typically would read personal development, but we're not going to do that just because like that's something you guys know how to do. Like you literally just have to pick up a book and read it. So we can skip ahead to like the eat your frog part. And Megan, if you want to explain that, feel free.
So eating your frog is doing what like scares you and like makes your stomach like do circles and front flips and stuff, like doing that first and doing it right away and just getting it over with. And for most people, I know myself included, that's the initial reach outs. Like they get easier, they get quicker, but they're never really fun because you're being super vulnerable when you put yourself out there and like tell somebody, hey, thanks for following my page, or I appreciate the support, or I'm reconnecting with somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time because you haven't talked to them in a long time. And so it's scary, but it's also only scary in our head. It's really not that bad, and I promise it does get quicker and it does get easier if you're just starting with them. And that's where you create that initial conversation. So if it's somebody you don't know, if it's somebody in your cold market, usually what I do during this pocket of time is I go to the people who've recently followed my page and send them a quick message like, hey, Sammy, thanks so much for, the support my page. It really means a lot. Having your support encourages me to show up every single day. And then based on what's going on with their profile, like if it's a private thing, I'll just be like, are you in health and fitness too? Because that's clearly what my page is about. Sometimes I get a lot of teachers who be like, what grade do you teach? What subject do you teach? Like, I'm a teacher as well. How's your summer going? If their profile is public, then I'll go through and I'll see something that maybe we connect with on a little more deeper level than just like health and fitness, and just ask them a question about that, but always thanking them for their support and then asking a question, because then most likely they'll respond to you. And if they don't, it's not the end of the world. You'll check in with them next month or something like that. So, I don't know.
So yeah, the eat your frog thing I feel like could be different for every person. Like for me, it used to be reach outs, but now it's definitely more the invites. Like I have way more fear inviting people, not because of like if they say no as much, but it's a little bit awkward and like uncomfortable. So like we want to encourage you guys, like whatever your frog is, it might be reach outs, it might be the follow-ups, it might be invites. That's like what you should focus on for like the first action item of your power hour, beyond that PD and the brain dump. So should we take like, I don't know how many minutes, like 5 minutes or
Yeah, it's
3
still
minutes?
5 minutes. This is an important one.
So important. So we're going to give you guys, I guess, Rain, then if you want to do like invites, or, if you're newer, then maybe you just want to do reach outs, which doesn't have to be, again, like Beachbody or fitness related. It can just be like, hey, Sally, I haven't talked to you, since 7th grade. It's just like starting a conversation with a new person. It can be on Instagram. It can be on Facebook. It can be on whatever. I always go with Instagram. So we'll start now.
About one more minute.
Okay, I think it's good. We're done. So what's cool about like setting the timer thing, I really love that because, you know, if you only have, like we've talked about, 20 or 30 minutes for your power hour for the day, or maybe just like a pocket of time for the day, if you set a timer, you know, and you're doing the thing that scares you the most, like I almost kind of make it a game and I just like blast like my favorite music. I'll drink some Energize or like drink some coffee, like pump yourself up and do the thing that scares you the most first. So you get it out of the way. And then afterwards you feel like a freaking rock star. And then on top of it all, like you can go back and be like, I want to beat my time. Like I get really competitive with myself. So sometimes I'll be, you know, I'll set a timer and I'll do like 10 reach outs or whatever I'm scared of, 10 invites, I guess. And then I'll be like, that took me 10 minutes. So that means it took me 1 minute per invite. Next time I'm going to beat that and I'm going to do 12 invites in 10 minutes or whatever, you know? So you can like make these things fun. It doesn't all have to be like grueling. So that's just like eating your frog in a sense. It can be, like we said, invites, reach outs, or follow ups, what you struggle with the most. So we're going to take some more time. Should we just, I mean, you guys, we could ask you guys like what you did or what scares you the most, and then we could set aside time to do the other things. You know what I mean, Megan?
You just give us a show of hands, like if you guys just did some initial reach outs during the 7 minutes. Okay. What if you did follow ups? Okay. I was like, I just did a bunch of reach outs because that's like what gets me most. Or invites. Who did some invites?
I did invite.
Okay. So after, I guess like we all have different transitions, but I usually do my reach outs first and then I go back into old messages. So for example, like yesterday's reach outs or Sunday's reach outs or Saturday's reach outs, like those who have responded to those initial reach outs is what the next little like chunk of time that I normally do is. So I do the reach outs for the new conversations, and then to the previous day's conversations, I'll go back through and like start replying to those for the next 10, 15 minutes, whatever my timer is. Would that be beneficial for anybody to do now?
Go through some follow-ups.
Okay, let's go do some follow-ups. We'll go for let's say 5 more minutes of that one to do either follow-ups or invites or reach outs. Whatever you just didn't do, we're going to take another 5 minutes to do something else that will propel your business forward because you're having conversations with people. And we just heard it on one of our trainings today. It's always going to be a no until you invite them. It's always going to be a no until you have that conversation with somebody. So the only way to find out if it's actually not a no is to have these conversations. So 5 minutes of doing something different than what you just did that will start to propel your business forward. See you in 5. Maybe one more minute.
I think that's good. So basically what we want to show you guys, like in these little sessions, obviously in real life or in your actual time, like daily life, whatever, in your coaching power hour, you wouldn't spend like 5 minutes unless you're really, 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 struggling for time. But maybe, you could spend 10 minutes or I don't know, 15 minutes on each one of these things, invites, reach outs, follow ups. And what we want to express to you guys is like, this stuff is the hardest stuff. And that's why I get up and have a miracle morning and like do them right off the bat in the morning, because when they're hanging over my head and it's like 9 o'clock and I have to go to bed in an hour, it is not the thing I want to do. I'm usually not in a good headspace. I'm usually like pretty worn out from the day. So, I mean, that's totally an option. If nighttime is like your time to shine, like for sure to go and do that. But mornings work best for me. And so, like, when I have my power hour in the morning, this is what I want to do. And these are the things that will drive your businesses forward. And I know, like, it can be so scary to have conversations, it can be awkward, it can be so many things, but it will truly, like Megan said in the beginning, like doing these little things every single day with the conversation portion of this all will take your business, from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 over time, and it'll compound. And that's literally all you have to do. Like all the other things are extra and fun, and Yeah.
So we picked these certain things to do with you guys tonight because, these are things to do that are crucial to building your business and helping it move forward. It's, not necessarily the most fun or glamorous part about this job, but it is so important to do them every single day. Things like, checking into the team page or checking your coach online office or your accountability group or following up with your challengers, like those are all super important, but those things need to happen like after all of the business building activities because, excuse me, it's so easy to get caught up in those. Like, the rabbit hole that Facebook can be. It's like, oh, let me check the team page. Oh, wait, something comes to mind. Let me go to the accountability group. Oh, wait, like this training page. And it's like, next thing you know, 30, 45 minutes has gone by and you only meant to spend 10 minutes on it or something. So what's really helped with me sometimes is like setting timers when I'm on a strict, like I only have 75 minutes this morning to get all of my stuff done and like set 15-minute timers for it. Super helpful. And then one of the last things that I like to do during my power hour chunk of time is crafting an Instagram post or a Facebook post for either later that afternoon or the next day. Because it kind of takes the pressure off of it by having something already ready, already prepped and like ready to go. So when it's, you're like, oh my gosh, it's, I haven't posted yet today. You have already prepared that post from yesterday, which is super helpful too.
Yeah, so we could take like 5 minutes again to just do that, craft a post for your next post or whatever it has to be. And also, I think it's really good too to challenge yourself to set a timer when you're crafting a post, because I can definitely get in the habit of, like sitting on my phone and going, what do I want to post about? And then it's like 10 minutes go by and then I'm writing something and then it's like, oh, I didn't like that. And then rewrite that. And then it's like 30 minutes and Chad's like, Leanna, are you alive?
When we were at Summit, Chad was talking about how Chad's Leanna's husband, if you guys don't know, and he was like, yeah, when Leanna's saying she has to go make a post, I know I won't see her for another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes. Let's do it.
Let's go. Okay, I'll start it now. 8 of 2. Oh, another really quick thing to say about this is when you're crafting that post for the next day in a set time, don't like go and edit the photo during that process. Like go and like write in your notes what you want to say. Then once you're done writing and you still have time left over, go and like edit the photo. But always get that like written portion first. think that's good.
I
Okay.
did not realize I wasn't muted this whole time again. Oh my
Is
God.
that you typing?
Yeah. And I was like, And then I just saw that I wasn't muted because I switched to my laptop and I'm like, gosh darn it, Rachel.
I figured it was just someone typing, and I'm not the host anymore, so I was just like, whatever.
Oh, I didn't know I could mute people. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, well.
But we only have like 6 minutes left, so we can spend the rest of this time just asking questions if you guys want. Like, and it can be questions on what we talked about today. It can be questions on literally anything. We're open books, so feel free. You can type it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and just talk.
It doesn't have to be questions or anything about like power hours and what we did today. It can like literally be anything.
You can go back to writing your social media post. Do you ever have it where you have a really great pic you want to share, but you don't know what caption to use? Yes. Oh my gosh. I feel like that's my life. I have like all the good pics, but not the caption. You have one been wanting to post, but I feel like I can't put words to it.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I never feel like pressured to connect a caption with a picture. I mean, you can always do that, but like I noticed a lot of coaches will post a picture of themselves, like a pretty picture of themselves, you know, on a mountain or something, you know, fancy. And then they'll post a quote, or they'll post like something inspirational that they read or that they liked, or I don't know. So like that's always an option too. Or like literally I've posted a photo of food before and then I've like talked about something completely different. So yeah, I don't know.
When I'm really struggling with inspiration, I like using those like calendars of posts. So I just went through one with like my team of like 21 days of coaching posts, stuff like that. And sometimes I'll like Google some and I'll read through them until something really sticks out with me about that picture if I'm looking for something specific. But then other times it's just like trying not to put too much pressure on any one post because, you know, you're sharing your journey, you're sharing your lives, and only, I don't know, 20% of your followers will actually see that post. And so, you know, just doing it consistently, sharing consistently. I have recycled pictures and or captions before, not exactly the same way, but like ideas of things a few weeks later if it's like, you know what, I want to talk about that again because I really liked talking about that. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, Leanne, I'll share that with you.
Oh, I just was asking Megan if she could share that like graphic for me, and then I'll put it in our team page so we can all see it. They're so good.
And so those things are good just to give like inspiration. Like I'm reading through them and then it's like, oh wait, like I don't necessarily want to talk about exactly what that says, but it'll like light something in my mind that's like, I want to talk about this. If that makes sense.
And then another thing too is to just go back to your brands. Like, what are your 5 brands, you know, and look at, like, I noticed on my page today, like, I love yoga so much. And I haven't posted about it in the past like 2 weeks. And so I was like, oh, like that makes sense. I'll just post about yoga, or I'll do like a yoga pic. So that's what I posted about today. And it was like so easy. Authors' books that are helpful to put words to experiences. Oh, that's such a good question.
Let me see it again. I was looking for that picture for you guys.
Concise for a post. Yes. Like you don't want to be too long-winded. I feel like looking at other people who do that well is the best way to do that well. So like if there's any other coaches out there that, you know, post their story, like top coaches are really good to look at. I really like Bonnie Engel. I resonate with her. She's a mom and she's just adorable. And so like if I'm really wanting to share a story of like that relates to coaching, I'll go to her page and I'll look at like what's a post that she made, and then I'll kind of form mine after hers, and it kind of gives you like an outline. So
Yeah, Rachel, that's a great idea. A notebook of quotes and books she likes. I have like a note section in my phone where I have quotes that I like, or a lot of times I'll just do like a PD takeaway.
The 5 brands are in relation to like who you are. I think I talked to you at coffee about this. Like you do a prompt of like, who am I as Allie? And then you write, you know, I love horses, I love nature, I love people, I love outdoors, I love yoga, I love coffee. And so those, like, you want to choose about 5 of those and then post about those consistently. And that's like your brands on social media. And it just makes things easier, makes people relate to you and your story. We're about to end. It says like less than a minute, but Hannah, I can give you good PD recommendations after this. I'll message you some.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. And if anything, just give you a little bit of extra time to work on those little behaviors that you're doing already consistently. And if not, you can hopefully see the importance of doing them every single day. They do build on each other. You know, the reach outs you did today, you'll have those conversations tomorrow, maybe invites the next day and follow-ups the next day. So that like cycle builds. And so it's super important to do it every single day. Yeah, I'm going to, I guess, end it now because it's going to cut us off any second. So
bye, guys. Bye. Love you all.